I was okay until you took the stage. Thank you for that. Have you got the clicker? Do you mind?
It's on. It's there.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yes. So as I said when Phil took the stage, there was only one way for Phil to sort of finish the conference really. And Phil's been an amazing friend more than anything else throughout this conference. So yeah, perfect talk to end day. One more time, a round of applause for Phil, please. Cool. And obviously, also the other speakers, right? So the caliber of speakers that we bring to Leeds is incredible, and I'm so proud that we've done that for 10 years. It's been incredible, and I just think it's amazing that we have this in Leeds because it didn't exist 10 years ago, and I think there was a gap that needed filling, and we filled it quite well. So Phil's talk is very sort of important to me. It resonates very, very closely with me. You know, it talks about that comfort zone, pushing your comfort zone. And in fact, this conference was founded on the fact that I was terrified of public speaking. So I started events in a small place called the Faversham in Leeds, where we started doing small events to get people together just to talk about tech and to be excited about technology. So yeah, that sort of growth zone that Fiona was talking about earlier was very real to me, and I think it's sort of still not solved. You know, Fiona talked about that sort of introvert feeling never being solved for, and I think you never really get over it, but you sort of got to throw yourself out there and just get used to those things. So yeah, the real reason I think the conference is important is around the sort of community. It's much deeper than just me wanting to get over my fear of public speaking. And I realised very quickly that a certain type of crowd started coming to these events. You know, it's a friendly, creative bunch that just want to get together and talk about tech and talk about solving problems. And for me, it was a bit of a safe haven away from value and profits, and talking about the very human aspects of building things, really. And then by accident, you realise you've sort of started a community. A community's formed, and that's pretty cool. It was very cool to me that this thing grew into what it has done. And you never own a community. You know, you can only create an environment where it can grow and it can exist in the first place. But I realised the real reason was community. So I think consistency is a really important part of community, actually. It's about showing up. It's about being present. And, this conference is this like part of a set of fringe events, really, which, ran over the years. It's been 10 years of this conference, but 14 years in total of the Hay events. You know, Phil mentioned me and Harry started this conference back in 2017. Harry introduced me to Phil, and he introduced me to speakers of the caliber you're seeing here today. And, I've got a lot to thank Harry for. But for me, like 10 years is no mean feat. You know, there's years that we, the drop of a hat had to take, a physical event that was meant to be here, and we turned it into a broadcast that we felt, really resembled the quality of the conference. And that was definitely no mean feat. But yeah, all the way until today. And obviously, I've been doing a lot of reflection as we sort of draw this chapter to a close. You know, we've had 182 talks on the events and in the conferences. We've had 179 contributors over that time, which is just an incredible amount of people. But even more than that, we've had 5,000 people pass through these doors and at the events that we've ran, which is just, to me, like a mind-blowing number of things that we would, never have thought would happen. So yeah, for me, a decent community is seeming harder to come by these days, but it's certainly not impossible. I'll sort of signpost a few of these that I think are really amazing in just a minute. But in recent years, the web has become more fragmented, and an anti-pattern to what we promised. This is for everyone, after all. So algorithmic feeds replacing shared timelines and open networks. AI is reshaping how people find each other and how we communicate. And I strongly believe that this room represents, a physical network that can't be cloned in that way. So I'd like to give you all a sort of heartfelt thank you for just giving me your time and your energy to coming here and being a part of that network. Also, we've seen a lot of new friends created here over the years. In fact, we've seen a wedding and a baby as a result of Hay, which is quite mind-blowing, actually. So it's amazing to see new friendships created, people discussing things that are not just tech, their lives, their sort of problems, their, the things that they want to share with people, their intimate sort of things that they want to share with people. I think is just amazing. And yeah, on the subject of the fragmentation of the web and a space to connect online, it's important to remember that you have a voice, right? And you have a voice, and no one should convince yourself you otherwise that you don't have a voice. And it seems very fitting to say that today on a day of a local election. So yeah, I think just remember that very, very strongly. We heard from Bramis at the start of the day the importance of a blog, personally and professionally, is really important. And I've seen some great posts recently. Sophie, shout out to Sophie, she's done a wonderful post on the rise of personal websites and the importance of personal websites. And I think that space that you own and can exercise that voice is incredibly important. And also just use it as a space to build things that give you joy, which I think is just a super important thing that we should never, ever forget. But they're also a great place to share things that you learn and collectively solve those problems. And unsurprisingly, I think the conferences are also very important for that, and there'll be a space that you'll always be heard. And grassroots events, I believe, are absolutely foundational to our industry. I owe a lot to the team of people who run this conference. We've got Phil, obviously, we've got Jack, we've got Rio, we've got Simon, Rosie, Marcus, and the rest of the production team who make this happen. These are the people that run the show. I just try and do some organisation behind the scenes. Hey isn't going anywhere, but I think we're just bringing this chapter of events to a close, and sometimes it's good to pause and reflect on things and come back with new ideas and with fresh ideas. So I believe events like this are foundational to our industry. And I'm still committed to them as much as I was when I started, but sometimes a little break is good. I wanted to just mention Hey, which is this thing that my friend Marcus started a little while ago. You never really know what your actions are going to inspire. Marcus used to help in the early days of Hey when we used to run events at the Belgrave, and he was very active in helping us organise those events. And he moved back recently to Sweden, to Luleå, where he's from. And he started this Hey event over there. He said, can I use the name? I was like, I don't know the word Hey. It's actually terrible to find Hey events when you search it, so you can go for it. And it sort of annoyed me that Hey was even cooler in Swedish, which is fucking so annoying. He even got BBC News coverage and all sorts, so it's absolutely flying. I'm not bitter about it, I want to be completely clear. But it is doing quite well, and I'm very proud to see that. But if you like events like this, you need to support other communities, and there is an amazing network of organisers in the UK and across Europe and the world actually. But these organisers that are in the audience today, they've become friends of mine because organising events is not easy, and it can feel lonely sometimes, and it can feel very tough when you're trying to get events off the ground. So yeah, this is a community of amazing, passionate people who really give a shit about the web and the community surrounding them, and it would be hard not to point some of those out. So we've got, Leeds Jess, which is a wonderful Leeds-based event. The next event is at CGI's office on 26th of May. And it's got Harry Roberts speaking, who I mentioned earlier. So that'll probably be quite a good event to go and have a look at. We've got a new event called Developers Up North, which is run by Fejiro, who it looks like he's doing an amazing job with the team there, putting together this brand new event that's taking place for the first time in Hull, I believe. It just looks amazing. The community around it looks so strong and healthy and happy, and it's just so great to see new events popping up at this point in time where it seems like there's a lot of doom and gloom in the world. Pixel Pioneers is run by Oliver. It's an absolutely amazing event in Bristol, actually, and there's a few events from Bristol, but yeah, Pixel Pioneers is one of them that's going for a little while, and that's on the 19th of June, which I recommend having a look at. As well as WDC, where Alex in the audience, he runs WDC with Luke, and this is also in Bristol. Early birds are on sale until the end of May, I believe. But yeah, another great event out of Bristol. FFConf, which is an absolute institution of an event. I believe it's been running for how many years? 17 years, which is like an unbelievable. Sorry, Alex always gets pissy about this. WDC has been running longer, but yeah, but still, sorry, Alex. We're all friends. But Remy and Julie run this in Brighton. It's an amazing event. Tickets are released on the 25th of June, and the newsletter is the best place to get news about that. But it's all these sort of events that have these vibes, where the community really are like the front and centre of these events. We've got State of the Browser, 6th of March, 27. That's Dave Latoure's, wherever he is. You'll see him. You'll hear him before you see him. He's an amazing gent though, and that's an absolutely wonderful event, and that's at the Barbican in London, always a lovely crowd. Beyond Tellerrand have just finished their Berlin edition, I think for the last time, but they have one in Dusseldorf, which is amazing. Mark is also just like a veteran of these events. They're so cool and creative, and you can see the amount of care that goes into the events, which is just unbelievable. Piccadilly, not an event, but a very good resource, and Andy is a very good friend of the conference, so you should check it out if you haven't. The reason I'm mentioning it as well, though, is because Scott, who has helped support this conference with Mindful Design, has a course on Piccadilly, and you should check it out because it's very, very good. Finally, we have Code Your Future, which is none of those things I mentioned before, but it's an amazing initiative, basically, which is based in the UK. It's a non-profit organisation that trains some of the most deprived members of society to gain tech skills, to change lives. And we've made a donation because we believe in this. We've funded at least 2 students this year going through this program. I'd recommend if you have any sort of budget in your company to fund initiatives like this, go and spend the money here because it's totally worth it. Right, I think we're almost there. Final thank you, though. I think the sponsors deserve a thanks of their own. These sponsors are all amazing, and they make events like this possible. So yeah, I just want you to give them a massive round of applause, please. And the crew, yeah, as I mentioned before, these are the people that make this conference possible. And not just the people that I called out earlier, but other people as well. We've got John, who does all the design work for the Hay stuff. I'm not sure where he is. Going to make him feel really awkward. He's sat over there, but he's poured his heart into meticulously designing the what you see at all these conferences, and it's just so tight and amazing. I'm so proud of it. Rabbit Hole, who are doing the caffeine, tea and coffee is super important for a conference. Amanda is just the most incredible stenographer, and every year she doesn't miss a beat. It's the most accurate, amazing transcription. Still blows my mind that someone is on the end of that typing this quality of transcription. It's incredible. So Amanda, thank you so much. Can you give her a round of applause, please? And finally, the AdLib chaps. So AdLib have been supporting the conference since day one as well. They are just an amazing AV team. They're never a hassle. Everything's super easy with them. They're just so on form all the time. So they're absolutely incredible. And I've been told we have a Lego prize to announce. So James, where's James? Right, so we have a winner, don't we? Mark Rogers. So Mark Rogers, you're now a recipient of a Lego set. So you should definitely enjoy the Lego set. And yeah, that's it. 10 out of 10. What a ride. Absolutely incredible. But this isn't really the end of the day. We're going to have a social at Hedgerow House. I'm hoping you can make it because I think it's going to be a really nice environment just to sort of debrief from the conference and sort of wind down a little bit after the day. There's a QR code with the map on it. If you don't know where it is, probably just follow the massive group of people that are going to walk in that direction very shortly, though. And finally, we're going to get a little photo of us all before we wrap up. So we get this every year, and we're going to try and do that now. So if you don't mind, Marcus is just going to jump up onto... Have you got your camera?
You did grab the camera.
There you go. Cool. Yes. All good?
I'm sorry, everyone upstairs.
Make better choices.
I sound honestly, because it feels like I'm going to go. All right, okay, we'll do, everyone sat quietly, and then stock photo, hands in the air, okay? Okay, so stock, hands in the air. Yay! Got it, thank you.
Thank you. Right. Thank you so much, Marcus. Right, and that really is it. Thank you for your patience, and I've run over a little bit, and it's been a bit difficult. But yeah, it really does mean so much to me and everyone else that you've sort of made the time today to come to this conference. Thank you so much. We'll see you at the party.